Alright, so next we got free agency. But for this one, since we already went over a lot of things and many moves haven't really been made, we're just going to talk about the moves that were just recently made, the more big moves, and just what we think about them. So it's not going to be too in-depth like the previous ones were. So we're going to be skipping around. We're going to start with the AFC and then work our way down. So the first moves that we have, which are honestly pretty big, is the Patriots trade Chandler Jones away for Jonathan Cooper and a second-round pick. So what do you... Don't go too in-depth, because I know we have that coming up in Argument of the Week, but just generally speaking, what do you think about it?
Yeah, so I'm not going to go too in-depth. Chandler Jones was a huge player for the Patriots. Their best defensive player by far.
I don't know by far.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I mean,
they have a bunch of defensive stars.
I think that he's
by far.
I think that he is the best. Maybe not by far, but
I don't even know if, like you said, by far. I don't even know if he's the best player, like on their defense.
I think that he is. Who else would there be?
Devin McCurdy. You had Jordan Mayo. You had a bunch of linebackers.
Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler played huge.
He had the same impact like that Muhammad Wilkerson did on the Jets. That's what I think. We'll talk about that.
We'll definitely.
Yeah. The Cardinals get rid of Jonathan Cooper, who was a bust for them in the first.
Was he really?
Yeah, bust for them in the first round. He got drafted like 2 years ago, and he didn't really live up to what the Cardinals expected him to be.
I don't know about that because why would they trade him? Why would the Patriots get a bust draft pick and a second round pick for their, according to you, their best defensive player?
The Patriots are going to turn him into a star, but like...
Yeah, I don't think he was
if you look up articles, people say that he was a major bust. And the second round pick is big for the Patriots because they don't have a first. And pretty sure you said somewhere that they have 11 picks.
Now they have 11 draft picks.
No first rounders, which is not good, not in the slightest. But I mean,
they're trying to make up for it.
11 picks. I mean, all 11 picks are probably going to be on the team for like years to come, which is insane for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that I like it. What do you think, Jared?
For who again?
For the Chandler Jones trade.
No. But for which team is he talking about?
Just in general, what are your ideas about it? Like, do you think it was good trade? Do you think it?
I think for the Patriots, I feel like they might have got the better end, but at the same time, the Cardinals they bolstered their pass rush, which they really struggled at last year. Of the playoff teams, I think they did have the least regular season sacks. Mm-hmm. So I think they really didn't need to make that move. I think it actually is a really good move for both teams.
I agree.
With Chandler Jones going into free agency next year, they were probably going to lose him anyway. Might as well get something in return,
Exactly, yeah. That's exactly how I felt about it. The other things for the Patriots were actually pretty big as well. They did a lot recently. Mm-hmm. They signed Chris Law, which was to a one-year deal, which was pretty much, I guess, their replacement for Chandler Jones. Not that he's going to be as good, obviously, but it's, in essence, what they were trying to fill the void. Shea McClellan, they signed him to a 3-year deal, who's a really good inside linebacker for the Bears, and I think he's going to excel for the Patriots, so watch out for that. And they traded their 4th-round draft pick for Martellus Bennett and a 6th-round draft pick. So what do you guys think about that?
I feel like the best move that they've made, the Chandler Jones, like I said, was good for them. They're going to get a 2nd-round pick, but then again, the Cardinals did have a late pick. They went far into the playoffs, so that's not going to be as important as a 2nd-round pick usually is. I think the best move that they've made was the trade for Martellus Bennett. I feel like
they kind of stole him, right?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't... Last year wasn't as good a season as he had 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he was just a monster, but last year, as I said, he wasn't as good. I feel like with the Patriots, like you saw with Aaron Hernandez, he'll be a good secondary tight end to Gronk. I'm not saying he'll be as good as Aaron Hernandez, but I'm saying he'll play a similar role, and I feel like with the weapons they have on offense, I feel like they don't really, have a lot of threats, and I feel like he could definitely be a big target for Tom Brady to throw to, and I feel like he'll definitely produce.
Yeah, I feel like the Bears kind of lost out in this trade. I think that Martellus Bennett is a very good player.
But they do have Zach Miller behind him, which maybe is
I don't think Zach Miller is as good as Martellus Bennett.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying, I think that they thought that they're gaining a 4th round pick and they have someone behind him who maybe they think he's a good player. I don't. I personally think that Martellus Bennett is better. I agree with you, but I guess that was their.
Yeah,
thinking.
but what I was trying to say was, I don't think, regardless of who they thought they had behind him, I don't think a 4th round draft pick is worth Martellus Bennett.
Especially from the Patriots. That's essentially
it's
an early 5th round pick. Yeah.
Exactly. So
I don't think
I feel like I said, they kind of stole him. I think they probably could have got something better, maybe, from Martellus Bennett, at least from the outside looking in.
They could have gotten Muhammad Wilkerson and
yeah.
for Martellus Bennett in the 2nd round pick.
But like we said before, they gave them a 6th round pick along with Martellus Bennett. So I don't really see the point for the Bears,
definitely.
and I think it's going to pay dividends for the Patriots. Just another weapon, another big target for Tom Brady, so it's going to be harder to stop them as usual.
Definitely.
So that wraps it up for the AFC East. There wasn't anything...
Yeah.
Oh, no. There was. For the Steelers, got Martavius Bryant got suspended for 1 year. We spoke about that a little bit earlier. So that's just, honestly, that's just really sad for them. But watch out for, in terms of fantasy, watch out for Ladarius Green now and Marcus Wheaton. Those are going to be the two guys to really pay attention to.
Yeah.
The Ravens signed Mike Wallace to a 2-year, $11.5 million deal, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The guy hasn't had like a 1,000-yard season since he was with the Steelers. And they signed Eric Weddle, who we spoke about earlier.
That's a great pickup.
Great pick for them. I mean, I kind of feel I wish he went to a different team just because I don't think they'll win with him while he's there.
He might play the same role as Ed Reed, though. He can.
He will. He could be very
good pick up for the Ravens. I thought that
Yeah.
Eric Weddle would have been a better fit elsewhere.
Yeah,
maybe the Jaguars, but yeah, we'll see.
And to a 4-year, $26 million deal. Then you got...
And they cut Will Hill, I think, right?
I think
he's replacing Will Hill. Right?
Yeah, that is what happened.
I think so. We don't have that down, but I'm pretty sure.
I think that's what happened. The Broncos signed Russell Okung to a 5-year,
and he's a really good
$53 million deal.
He definitely
but
is.
now, with that signing, they already had Ryan Clady as a left tackle.
And he was hurt last year.
Yeah,
so
but he was a phenomenal left tackle.
Phenomenal.
And so... I heard that they're already in trade talks with people for him.
I heard that there's
I heard that there's trade. I don't know what I was about to say. There's a bunch of teams looking for this trade. They could, and I also heard that they could throw in this guy to get Colin Kaepernick. Is also something that I heard. I don't think it's smart by them. I just heard that it's something. It's a rumor. I don't know if it's.
I don't know if, like you said, if it's not smart for them. I feel like that would be smart, but I feel like the Niners, it would take much more than Clady to land Kaepernick.
Also, with the Russell Okung contract, it is 5 years, $53 million, but it's really a 1-year contract, like a prove me deal. And then if I don't know whose option it is. It's either Russell Okung. It's either Russell Okung's option or the Broncos' option, but they can add 4 years to it, and then they can give that money, all the money, the rest of it. And then what were you gonna say?
So I wanted to clear this up. I made a mistake, and Jared was very happy to point me out on it earlier this week, was that Chris Anderson, I said, was signed...
Correcting him again?
Oh, C.J. Anderson. All right, Jared, relax. Don't do this. C.J. Anderson was... I said that he went to the Dolphins, but I guess I read something wrong, and he didn't. They ended up just recently re-signing him, and he stayed with the Broncos.
The correction was like the Dolphins offered him and then
offered him a match sheet, but then I thought I saw something saying that the Broncos weren't going to offer. Yeah, they weren't.
I actually thought that too, so we were both there with that.
And then finally, I think this wraps up the AFC. Is the Raiders ended up signing Donald Penn, which a lot of people didn't. I personally didn't think they were going to re-sign him after they got the guy's name that we just simply don't know how to say. Whatever his name is. And they signed him to a 2-year, $14 million deal. So their line is very dangerous. So watch out for Latavius Murray and Derek Carr. Now he has a lot of protection. So watch out for them. In terms of the NFC, we talked about the Bears. They traded their 4th-round pick in exchange for... They traded the Martellus Bennett and their 6th-round pick in exchange for a 4th-round pick. We spoke about that. For the Packers, B.J. Raji retired.
Very young,
at 29.
retiring.
You're really seeing a trend of players retiring younger. I don't know if that's just a fear of injury or what.
You saw what Patrick Willis. You're seeing a lot of them.
The scariest one was the guy last year, the linebacker for the 49ers. The really good one. Borland.
Chris Borland.
Yeah, Borland. He was a rookie, and he retired
and
after 1
he
year.
was a phenomenal rookie. It's not even like he struggled.
Exactly.
He was
that was very surprising because he would have had a good NFL career, and
it's showing that
he threw it away.
Yeah,
that could be a topic that we'll talk about.
What is it? Fear? Do you guys think it is fear of injury?
It's definitely fear of injury.
I think so too.
A lot of Rasheed Mathis, who's played in the league for God only knows how many seasons, he came out and said it like he doesn't want his son to play football and won't like even Pop Warner.
A lot of people say that.
He doesn't even want his son to play because
Pop
he's too
Warner
scared
is
of
much more dangerous concussion wise because the kids don't know how to tackle.
Yeah, they don't know how to protect themselves either.
Like they get hurt. I remember Pop Warner when I was playing. I got hit in the head a lot.
Yeah, I play high school now and I get hit in the head as well
definitely.
a lot. So the Packers also finally re-signed James Stark, so I think was really big for them because who knows what's going on with Eddie Lacy. The Vikings signed Andre Smith, the left tackle from the Bengals, which after this signing, an interesting fact is that the Vikings currently have the most expensive line in the NFL, which I didn't realize. I don't know. They're playing Alex Boone a lot, but like I don't really know who else.
I feel like their line's not their line's not good enough to be that expensive.
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess that's just what I read. The Falcons signed. This didn't happen recently. This happened a while ago, and we skipped it by mistake. They signed Derek Shelby to 4 years, $18 million. So they're also getting a pass rush, as you can tell. They're starting to get some people. The Saints signed James Laurinaitis to a 1-year deal.
Who's really good. I think he's a tackle machine.
He's going to be very good for them.
Him and Stephon Anthony, the guy that they drafted last year, could be a good duo
and
who's middle linebacker.
Do you know? It's like a Hawaiian guy. They have another.
Oh, I can't.
I feel like he was good too.
He was really good.
Was he an outside linebacker?
He or something.
Don't even try to say it. But is he an outside linebacker or is he another one of those?
He's like a strong will back or one of those like weird linebacker positions.
Okay.
And then next we have the Cardinals, who we talked about the Chandler Jones, Jonathan Cooper trade. And then, they signed Evan Mathis to a 1-year, $6 million deal, and he was rated the 3rd best guard in the NFL by Pro Football Focus.
I feel like that's a big move.
So that's a big move for them.
Especially for what you're about to say after this.
Yeah, they re-signed Chris Johnson to a 1-year deal.
I feel like him, even if David Johnson does,
I believe David Johnson's easily getting the starting role.
I don't know if he's getting...
So now,
Chris, you forget Chris Johnson. He was one of the NFL leaders in yards before he went down. I mean, they just have a good running back committee now with him and David Johnson.
I think, but the way that their coach was praising David Johnson and all that kind of stuff, and David Johnson was just simply getting it done. I think they're a little silly if they don't give him the workload almost entirely and have Chris Johnson as a relief. Maybe a speed back, you know what I mean?
Also, if you think about that line right now, it's their left tackle, Velda here, he's good. Then they have Evan Mathis at the left guard. Forget their center, I'm pretty sure he's good. Do they still have Mike Iupati? Or they do? So then Mike Iupati, and then who's ever that right tackle, we can't think of now. That's a really good offense.
They have a very good
Watch out for Cardinals running backs, even if it's a committee. That's still going to be really good.
Maybe not in fantasy if it is a committee, but just
I think even still, that's how good they might be.
Maybe. They have a good pass game too, though.
Yeah, they do. They're going to be really
They're going to be, especially with the defense. Everything about them. They're just
I'm telling you, they're setting up for a Super Bowl. The 49ers signed guard Zane Beatles from the Jaguars to a 3-year, $11.75 million deal. So maybe that'll help out Carlos Hyde if we could ever see what's going on with him, because he was very confusing last year. And finally, we spoke about this earlier, the Seahawks lost Russell Okung to the Steelers. So that was a brief little run-through about all the news that has recently happened in free agency. And that about wraps it up. Next, we're going on to...
Winners and losers.
Winners and losers of free agency.